I would say probably one reason that most people would maybe see about it is just the fact that we probably lost our focus on selecting animals for good conformation, good structure. As you start breeding for one trait, which we've been really as an industry breeding heavily for high litter sizes, increased weaning weights, probably haven't looked at the individual sow as much. And when we moved away from natural mating to artificial insemination, now we're no longer putting a heavy bore on top of those breeding females. So we probably allowed ourselves to have animals that didn't have as good conformation or structure in. And I think what we've seen with that is we probably have animals that wouldn't have made it into the herd 10 to 20 years ago. They don't have very good structure, and even in the housing systems that we have today, both in group housing and individual housing, we're seeing higher incidences of lameness and feet and leg problems. And what that really winds up being is either early calls, or in some cases when the animals go down, the producers, in the interest of the animal's health and well-being, have to euthanize her, and that winds up as sow mortality.
Sometimes we just have to stand back and make sure that the right animals come into the farm. If the animal's structurally questionable, it's going to be more difficult for that animal to stay in the herd.
We probably moved away from doing a real good job of selecting, and a lot of times that's because a lot of larger farms or systems have internalized their multiplication, so they're no longer buying animals externally. So they've already got a invested cost in that. They're a need to get those animals in to replace the animals in their herds, and it may just be a situation where in that need for replacement animals, we're maybe allowing some of those animals in that maybe aren't of the best conformation or quality. So it feels like the gilt selection piece of that's a little bit of a lost art.
Yeah, I think it comes back to again, making sure we keep the animals in the right body condition. That's a very important thing for the sow herd. And if we get the animals into the herd, we keep them in the right body condition, that's going to add to their longevity. And if the animals are yo-yoing a lot on weight, it's going to add more stress and more challenges. And so we try and keep them very uniform and consistent on weight, as well as making sure we manage understand the health status the animal is coming in, manage it to match our herd, and then identify the problems as they show up.